All right, let's just jump right in. We all live our lives trusting our senses, right? We trust them to tell us the truth about the world. But what if you're being lied to? What if evolution designed our brains not to show us reality, but actually to hide it from us?
It all starts with a really weird question. See this little guy? He's an Australian jewel beetle, and for some bizarre reason, the males of this species find empty beer bottles completely irresistible. Like so irresistible they'll ignore actual female beetles just to try and mate with the bottle. What on earth is going on here?
So, to figure out if we can trust our own eyes, we've got to start with this beetle's tragic and, let's be honest, kind of hilarious mistake.
So here's the deal. The male beetle is hardwired, just totally programmed to look for a few specific things in a mate. Something shiny, dimpled, and a certain shade of brown. Well, it just so happens that a discarded beer bottle, a stubby, as they call them down under, is a perfect match. In fact, it's bigger and shinier than any actual female beetle. It's a super stimulus. And the result? It's a total biological train wreck. The males waste all their time and energy on these bottles, they completely ignore the real females, and they become easy snacks for hungry ants. This one little glitch in their perception is literally putting the entire species at risk.
You know, it's easy to laugh at this beetle, right? But its bizarre little problem forces us to ask a really uncomfortable question about ourselves. Are our own senses actually any better? Do we really see the truth?
The traditional answer, the one that just feels right in your gut, is what's called the principle of faithful depiction. It's this super simple idea that our senses evolved to give us a true picture of reality because, well, seeing what's really there seems like the best way to, not die.
And this isn't some fringe idea, right? This is baked into major science textbooks. The logic feels rock solid. If your perception of a tiger was inaccurate, you'd be dinner. Therefore, our senses must be showing us the truth. Simple, right?
But what if that entire way of thinking is 100% backward? This is where cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman comes in with this just wild idea. He argues that the whole point of perception is not to show us reality. The point is to hide reality's insane complexity from us and just give us a simple guide on what to do next.
And here is the absolute core of his argument, that common sense view makes one huge mistake. Natural selection doesn't give a rip about truth. It doesn't care if your beliefs are accurate. It only selects for one thing, whatever keeps you alive long enough to have kids. It optimizes for fitness. A quick and dirty perception that helps you dodge a predator is way more useful than a slow, perfectly accurate one that gets you eaten while you're still processing the data.
Okay, so if what we're seeing isn't the truth, then what the heck is it? Well, Hoffman gives us this amazing metaphor to wrap our heads around it. Just think of reality like the desktop on your computer.
Right, and this is probably the question popping into your head right now. If the world I see isn't the real deal, what good is it? Like, why even have eyes at all? How could that possibly be useful?
And the answer is surprisingly familiar. Our senses, he says, work just like the graphical user interface on your computer. They're not there to show you the truth of the machine's guts. They're there to help you use it without getting a headache.
Okay, stick with me, because this is where it all clicks. Think about the icon for a text file on your screen. Is that little blue rectangle literally the document? No way. The real file is a complex mess of circuits and voltages and software code deep inside the computer. The icon is just a helpful fiction, a little picture that hides all that complexity so you can get your work done. Now, apply that exact same logic to reality. The tiger you see in the jungle isn't literally what's there in objective reality. It's an icon that your brain creates. But, and this is the most important part, does that mean you can just ignore it? No! You don't take the icon literally, but you absolutely have to take it seriously. Dragging that file icon to the trash bin has real consequences. It deletes the real file. And trying to pet the tiger icon, well, that has very, very serious consequences too.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is a cool idea, a mind-bending metaphor, but is there any actual proof? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where evolutionary game theory enters the picture.
So what Hoffman and his team did was create these computer simulations. Think of it like a digital Hunger Games for perception. They created these little digital organisms. Some of them were truth players. They were programmed to see objective reality in all its glorious, complex detail. But processing all that truth took up a lot of time and energy. And then you had the simple players. They only saw a basic interface, kind of like a color that just told them if something was good or bad. It was cheap and it was fast. They let these two teams go at it, competing for resources over thousands and thousands of generations. And the result? It wasn't even a contest.
The organisms that saw reality as it truly is, they got wiped out. Every single time. They were driven to extinction by the creatures who saw the simpler, more useful interface. Truth just couldn't compete with cheap and easy.
So the simulations pretty much sealed the deal. They confirmed the big idea. Evolution couldn't care less about seeing things accurately. It just rewards what works, what's fast, and what helps you survive. Fitness, not factuality, wins the race. End of story.
So what does this all mean for us? For how we live our lives? It means we need a whole new relationship with reality. It's about learning to take our world seriously without having to take it literally.
You know, the biggest pushback is always, well, if the tiger isn't real, why can't I go pet it? And this quote from Hoffman just nails the answer. It's not about the tiger being fake, it's about that tiger icon being a very, very real warning symbol in your user interface. Ignoring that warning has real repercussions. You know, there's actually a word for this idea of a species-specific reality. It's called our Umwelt. Think of it like your personal reality bubble. It's not a window looking out at the real world. It's more like the dashboard in your car. It hides the messy, complicated engine from you, but it gives you the simple gauges you need: speed, fuel, warning lights, so you can drive the car successfully. Just remember, you're looking at the dashboard, not the engine itself.
And if this all still sounds a little too out there, just remember, we've made this exact mistake before, as a species. We looked at our user interface, and it told us the Earth was flat. It told us the sun revolved around us. We took our interface literally, and we were profoundly wrong. So is our current belief that we see objective reality just the next great illusion we need to wake up from?
Which leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. If everything you experience, space, time, the chair you're sitting on, the screen you're looking at right now, if it's all just an icon on your personal desktop, what part of your reality isn't? What's really out there when you turn off the screen?